All right, buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into the book of Jude. And whoa, this one
Mhm.
is a firecracker.
Oh, yeah.
Just a single chapter. But don't let that fool you. Jude packs a punch. We're talking urgent warnings, vivid imagery,
Oh,
and a whole lot to unpack. So get ready to extract those key takeaways and make sure this deep dive leaves a lasting impression.
it will. It will.
Luckily, we have a fantastic expert here
Yeah.
to help guide us through all the twists and turns.
Right.
I have a feeling Jude might have a few surprises up his sleeve.
Definitely does.
Now, right off the bat, Jude
Mm.
struck me as a very unique book. It's not addressed to a specific church, like a lot of the other New Testament letters, but to a much wider audience, a broader group of believers. And it's incredibly concise. Just one chapter.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with that? Why all this urgency?
Well, it's fascinating, right? Jude is laser focused on a single critical message, and that's urging Christians to contend for the faith.
Contend for the faith. Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
pretty intense. What does that even look like in practice?
Well, you got to understand the context here, right? Jude is writing to a church that's facing a really serious threat, but it's not from the outside, it's from within.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there are false teachers who are distorting the gospel message, and he's calling on believers to step up and actively defend the truth, like really push back against these deceptive influences.
So this is more than just like a friendly theological debate, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. This is a battle for the heart of the faith.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can see how seriously Jude takes this because of the strong language he uses.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He calls these teachers, ungodly, deceptive, even compares them to dangerous animals sneaking into the flock to cause harm.
Yeah, like wolves in sheep's clothing, right?
Exactly.
So can you tell us a little more about the specific dangerous ideas that Jude is so worried about?
Well, one of the big ones is denying Jesus as Lord,
Uh-huh.
like refusing to acknowledge his authority. He also warns against those who try to twist grace, God's grace, into an excuse for living however they please.
Like saying it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, like claiming that because we're forgiven, we can just live however we want.
I mean, that sounds a lot like some ideas that are still
Ah,
around today, right?
well, absolutely.
Like think about the prosperity gospel, where the focus is all about material wealth
Yeah,
and personal gain
right. It shifts the focus away from God's grace.
and away from servanthood.
Yeah,
And, even things like antinomianism,
right.
where people claim that.
Yeah.
Any talk of sin or morality is legalistic and restrictive.
Yeah, you're right. It's like Jude's warnings are timeless.
Yeah.
Because these distortions of the faith, they just keep popping up in different ways throughout history.
Yeah,
It's like a constant battle.
And speaking of battles, Jude doesn't shy away from using some pretty vivid examples
Yeah.
to really hammer home his points,
He
right?
does, he does.
He brings up the Israelites wandering in the desert,
Yeah,
the fallen angels,
yeah.
even the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Wow. Why do you think he chose these particular stories?
I think it's really clever, actually,
Yeah.
by referencing these well-known narratives from the Old Testament. Jude is connecting the struggles of the early church
Uh-huh.
to this broader pattern of rebellion and judgment.
Mm.
He's showing them that rejecting God and embracing wickedness, it always leads to disaster.
It's like he's saying, hey, this is the first time this has happened.
Exactly. Learn from the past.
Yeah.
Don't repeat the same mistakes.
All right. Okay, we got to talk about the elephant in the room,
Oh, yeah.
or should I say the angel in the room.
Uh-huh.
There's that passage in Jude
Yeah.
about the angels who did not keep their positions of authority.
It's a mysterious one.
It is. It's mysterious and honestly a little unsettling, right?
It's definitely one of the most intriguing parts of the book. It's sparked a lot of debate among scholars,
Oh, I bet.
but most agree that it's pointing to some kind of rebellion within the angelic realm.
Hmm.
Some believe it's referring to the fallen angels mentioned in Genesis,
Yeah.
possibly even those connected to the Nephilim.
Whoa, that's a whole other rabbit hole.
It is.
A whole other deep dive.
Exactly.
But it definitely adds another layer to the book's intensity, wouldn't you say?
Sure, for sure.
Now, after all these dire warnings and,
Yeah.
talk of rebellion and judgment, Jude doesn't leave his readers in a state of despair, does he?
No, he doesn't, and that's a really important point.
Yeah.
He shifts gears in the last part of the letter
Uh-huh.
and offers a message of encouragement and hope.
Hmm.
He urges believers to build themselves up in their faith,
Uh-huh.
to pray in the Spirit, and to await the mercy of Jesus Christ.
So it's not just about, like, fighting against false teaching. It's also about nurturing your own faith. and trusting in God's ultimate victory.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a balance.
It is.
Stand firm, hold on to the truth,
Yeah.
but also rest in God's grace.
Yeah, find that hope.
So to recap what we've learned from our deep dive into Jude, this short but powerful book is a call to action. It challenges us to be vigilant in defending the truth, to be discerning in what we believe, and to remain rooted in the authentic gospel.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Now, you've got a solid grasp of Jude's message, but here's something to ponder. As you go deeper into this book, what are the modern-day parallels to these false teachings that Jude was so concerned about?
That's a good question.
What are the subtle ways that we might be tempted to compromise or distort the truth? It's something for all of us to consider as we navigate our own faith journey.
It is food for thought, for sure.
All right, well, that's our deep dive into Jude. Remember, this is just the beginning. There's always more to discover.
Always.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deeper into the Word.
Until next time.